Welcome back to the channel for another video on Gran Turismo Sport. We are doing a last to first challenge. Yes, this is on the Jev USA account in the TT around Nürburgring Grand Prix circuit. How high can we climb? Let's have a go. So, starting at the back of the grid in 11th place. Let's see how we do. Flipping onto one traction control system, we get a good launch. Shifting up to second gear nice and quickly. Off with the traction control now, and I'm just going to send it up the middle and see what happens. We're already up to 10th, up to 9th now. Is it going to get a little bit awkward here? Yes, it is. We're going to have a nice little gangbang in T1 as we are tapped just a little bit wide. It's a little bit awkward, but we are in 9th place now. Going to send it up the inside of the Brazilian there. He doesn't know I'm there. And we're going to go for another move up to 7th already. First two corners, and we've gained a couple of places. Oh, what a little punt from behind sends me into that player, but it's not my problem. A little bit of a narrow entry there, sees us a little bit slow on the exit of that corner, but we are up to 6th, obviously now, and in pursuit of Alex, the Brazilian, in front of us. Didn't really know whether to do a third or a fourth gear around there, but this is definitely a third here. Can we get early on the power? And we're definitely in the slipstream, in the suck zone of the Brazilian in front of us. Not close enough to go for a move into the hairpin here. Slamming on the brakes, shifting down to second, keeping it nice and tight, much closer to the apex than the Brazilian. That's going to give us a better run out here as we go up to this fast set of S's. Quite an awkward place to be now, being this close to someone coming through these corners. As you can see, we're all over the back. He's a little bit skittish. Are we going to go for the send up the inside into this left-hand corner here? Not really close enough. Weren't late enough on the brakes, but Alex is going to go a little bit wide. A nice little short shift there as we come around the outside of him. Later on the brakes, getting the move done, and we are up to 5th place. Now in pursuit of the American in front of us. Can we go about closing down that distance between us? Now, they are pretty close together up ahead of us. They're trying to go in 2 by 2 into the chicane. That's not going to work out for them as we get a nice run, and that is 4th place, all odds. And that's going to be a penalty as well for the other American, who must have given him a little bit of a tap there. Absolute disaster for Casper in front of us. And now we're in the slipstream, going on to the start-finish straight, 11th to 4th on the first lap. Can we go about catching up with the top 3 players? On the inside now, licking it, stamping it, and sending it up on the inside, trying to keep it nice and clean as we get a better run out of the corner as well into 3rd gear, trying to hook up with the apex, and the deal is done. We are into 3rd place, into that podium spot. Can we go about catching up with the American in front now? These last to first challenges are always fun, but they do get more difficult as your driver rating does improve as we go very, very wide there, and we're very lucky not to receive a penalty for exceeding track limits there. Obviously, the lower lobbies you're in, the more fun you can have by overtaking the slower drivers, no offense given, as it then gets harder to catch the players at the top of the leaderboard, as M8 Racing had a lap time of about 2:05. which is a pretty fast time, so catching up with him will be pretty difficult. But our eyes are on Optimus in front of us, but no amount of transforming is going to help him as we are setting purple sectors and are closing in on him fast, coming through those fast S's now in the slipstream. Just under a second away from him now as we're down to 3rd gear, hooking up nicely with the apex there. Optimus just running a little bit wide there, giving us the opportunity to get further in the slip, and he's got himself a ½ second penalty for that little bit of exceeding the track limits. Into the slipstream now. Can we go about sending it up the inside? Are we going to be brave enough? No, we're not. Not quite. Not this time. We're just going to follow him through. He's gone very deep into the first one. We get the cutback on the second apex of the chicane. Perfect move. Maybe a little bit pressured into that as well. 3rd gear, coming around, nearly hitting the entrance of the pit wall there, and onto the final lap. And we go about catching the Brazilian, who is 3 seconds away. The answer was no, but we did take quite a bit of time off of him, nearly 2 seconds by the end of the lap, and that is pretty much going to seal the deal with this race. Brazilian in first then, doing enough to seal the victory for him. But we drove pretty well, and coming across the line, we are actually going to set a 2:04.773, which is a pretty fast lap, I think. A second place here then. What can we do in the next race? So skipping forward a week, we are at Suzuka in a one-make category, which is the go-karts. Yes, a little bit of absolute pandemonium. We are starting in 11th place. What can we do? How far can we go forward? We are on the American servers once again with our Jev USA as we're rocking and rolling, ready to go, ready to move up and see how high we can climb in this race. TC onto one then, and we're away. Oh, a slow moving vehicle there, and the Brazilian didn't start, so an American crashed into the back of him, which puts us up to 7th and into the inside of the first corner. God forgives, I won't. The American driver as we pass him, and we pass DNF Shotgun as well. Some absolutely fantastic American names coming out here, and being smoother through that turn sees us up the inside of Dover Kid as well. A nice Skyrim reference there, I appreciate that one. And another mistake sees us go up the inside of old dirty BRYCE and into the final hairpin of the corner here onto the back straight before the sweeping right hander takes us over the start finish straight. We are sitting in third, and the first and second place seem to be pretty handy, so we're going to have to be very fast, very consistent if we want to go about getting one of those top 2 spots. Come around this sweeping right hander then as we cross the line. Old Dover Kid behind us as well, half a second. We do just have to keep him in mind, as dirty old BRYCE is not too far behind either. There we go, dirty old BRYCE up to 4th place. Is he going to have a say in the matter of where we finish in this race? As Marty McFly, the Canadian, sets the fastest lap of the race. Obviously, first lap, him being in first place is going to get him that accolade. I will say that the names of the drivers in America, or the American servers, are much funnier than the ones from Europe. Always makes you smile, gives you a little bit of a chuckle before you try to beat them, as dirty old BRYCE is very, very close. Oh, there he is. Hello. Little look there as he comes across, goes to the inside. So I'm going to try one of those Jev Racing famous cutbacks, start a little bit wider, hit the apex later, but it's not going to work this time as we run a little bit wide and running to the outside once more of dirty old BRYCE. Into the first corner, around the outside, he's still there. Can we get the cutback? No, we're just trying to be smooth, running a little bit wide there. Dirt on the left tyres, settling into the slipstream, coming into this left-hander there, down to 3rd gear. How early can you get on the power? Oh, a little bit wide, a little bit ragged. Gonna have to sit in for 4th, flat out through this right-hander as we come under the Dunlop Bridge. And it is worth noting as well that well done to Gran Turismo for putting this as daily race A, bringing back a little bit of fun to the game. Got a little bit stagnant, the daily races over the last couple of weeks or months, so it's good to see the game sort of trying to be fun, trying to put in those combinations that will spark a little bit of enjoyment and madness. Obviously you're not doing this race for the DR or SR. And as dirty old BRYCE comes across, I noticed the Vladimir Putin face on the back of his racing suit. Dirty old BRYCE seems to be playing this game for absolute fun, and I absolutely love that. We do not see that enough. But as much as I like your name and I like your racing suit, dirty old BRYCE, it doesn't change the fact that I want to beat you right now. So on to the 4th lap, coming through the left-hander. Still 2/10 separate us and BRYCE. Fast right-hand corner underneath the Dunlop Bridge, then coming into the final hairpin, the tight right-hander, down to 3rd, just after the green Astro on the left-hand side. Can we get on the power? Nice and smooth. Apparently as well, racing these karts, it was actually quicker to turn off the ABS default, so have no ABS. Apparently it made the karts turn in better. Who knows? I've still got the ABS default on as dirty old BRYCE is going for that cutback onto the final lap, but no, it's not going to work. He's just going to sit behind. He's in the slipstream now. I move over for a more defensive line. Is he going to try and go around the outside? No, he's up the inside. Gives me a little bit of a touch. I'm going to have to counter that, a counter slide, but no damage. We all are through safe. He has just lost a little bit of time to us. So left-hander again, third gear. Can we get smooth? Very, very small inputs you have to put into the analog stick or the steering wheel, depending on what you are driving with. That right-hander, I found I was very, very fast compared to other racers. Big on the brakes into third then, coming around. Can we get on the power? There we go. Coming on the last straight. And old dirty BRYCE. Dirty old BRYCE. No, dude, he drove so well, but that's going to be him, and his chances of getting that top 3 spot ruined. A little bit overzealous maybe coming through that last hairpin. And that's going to be it. I tried to slide, but it didn't work. But that is going to be it for this one. A couple of last 2 question mark challenges there. Hopefully I'll have a load more to bring to you over the next couple of weeks as well. Really enjoy doing these. It's always a bit of madness fighting through the pack, trying to make it to the front. So thank you for watching, liking and subscribing. Thank you again to the channel members. You are absolute legends, of course, for supporting the channel. And I will see you in the next one.